So in this video I will present original version. Please mind that it is very long presentation, and I recommend you to download the presentation as PDF file from the link in the description, so you will get access to the source information and make your own research. I am not a medical professional, so my recommendations are not for you. It is just my opinion, expressing my opinion, but I'm a professional scientist and I rely on science in my research. So I believe that, so I try to do my best, and I think I'm fine. Okay, let's go. In an introduction video for my YouTube channel in April 2024, I already described the goal of my project to radically extend the maximum longevity of humans without using any expensive procedures and medications. That is to give an opportunity to live up to 1,000 years, even for poor people in developing countries. Will they do it or not? It is not up to me, but again, many people, especially poor people, consider life is hard, and they don't want to live too long. Pardon? Also, it is also a problem to survive, because all the people may work. It's difficult to find job for all the people, but it's also, I believe that also it can resolve a problem of reducing population in some developed nations like China and Japan, South Korea. So instead of using migrants with low IQ, that's to replace all population, they can rely on my findings. But again, it is probably not now, it is probably in 5-6 years when I prove that rejuvenation is possible, maybe more people will follow me. Okay, so we know from science that some animals can live 10-20 times longer compared to other animals of compatible sizes, without any change in their genetics. Even some insects, without change in genetics, can live up to 100 times longer than other insects like royals in bees and termites and ants. They live much longer than working individuals. Okay, you can watch my older videos. These links are here for details, and the only thing which matters is the diet that reduces the level of oxidative stress, which is excessive production of reactive oxygen species. You can click on it to learn more about what it is. Also, it is free radicals. In humans, oxidative stress in tissues is related to compromised blood flow, chronic hypoxia and inflammation of tissues, and accumulation of senescent cells. Senescent cells are dysfunctional cells, hyperactive dysfunctional cells. Concentration of reactive oxygen species in tissues can be reduced by supplementation of antioxidants. Dietary oxidants are vitamins A, C, and E. Ascorbic acid or vitamin C is an oxidation reduction catalyst found in both animals and plants. It can neutralize reactive oxygen species such as hydrogen peroxide, polyphenols, and flavonoids, which are promoted as antioxidants due to their free hydroxy groups. Don't work as antioxidants in vivo. Rather, flavonoids upregulate production of enzymes like catalase and glutathione. So you can go to the scientific publications, read more. Several amino acids possess direct or indirect antioxidant properties. These amino acids either scavenge free radicals themselves, act as sacrificial targets to protect cells from oxidative damage, or serve as building blocks for the most powerful master antioxidants like glutathione. Okay, 7 amino acids including tryptophan, methionine, histidine, lysine, cysteine, arginine, and tyrosine can absorb free radicals, donate protons, or trap pro-oxidative metal ions. Additionally, several amino acids such as histidine, lysine, methionine, and tryptophan act as indirect antioxidant by triggering the so-called nuclear factor erythroid 2 related factor 2. Okay, so it is again the cell pathway. It is part of some molecular cellular biology that participates in the regulation of metabolism, inflammation, autophagy, proteostasis, mitochondrial biogenesis, and immune responses. Okay, if you don't understand anything, you just click and you will get to reference to Wikipedia to understand it. Glutathione is a body primary intracellular antioxidant. It is tripeptide composed of 3 specific amino acids: glutamate, cysteine, glycine, and glycine. Cysteine is the most potent standalone amino acid antioxidant. Glycine is the simplest stable amino acid. It also helps to stimulate production of collagen. Glutamic acid, also called otherwise other name glutamate. Glutamic acid, glutamate combines with glycine and cysteine to form glutathione. Okay, I don't do any pictures because the presentation is too long, and with pictures it will take me too long time. Methionine is a sulfur-containing amino acid that can easily react with neutralize reactive oxygen species. Tryptophan contains an indole ring that can break radical chain reactions by donating hydrogen atom. Histidine contains an imidazole ring that excels in scavenging free radicals and chelating metal ions to prevent them from causing oxidation. Lysine possesses an extra-amine group that is highly effective at inhibiting lipid peroxidation due to the ability of triols to undergo redox reaction. Cysteine and cysteine residues have antioxidant properties. Arginine contains an amino group that contributes to radical scavenging and metal ion chelation. Tryptophan has a phenolic ring that easily donate protons to electron chain radicals and stabilizing them via resonance structures. Okay, so again, you can go more in details, but that's okay. Now enough. Taurine is an indirect natural antioxidant and anti-inflammatory compound. It plays a protective role in age-related diseases, cardiovascular health, and neurological function. Taurine deficiency has been shown to compromise the electron transport chain in mitochondria and significantly increase production of reactive oxygen species. So you can go to the publications. Taurine is a reservoir of cysteine, and it can be synthesized for cysteine and converted back to this cysteine by a reversible reaction. So it is again, you cannot get taurine from vegetables. It is only in meat. But supplementation is very cheap. Vitamin C, or ascorbic acid, is a water-soluble antioxidant, removing reactive oxygen species created by mitochondria in the hypoxic environment. Ascorbate deficiency accelerates aging of extracellular matrix and degradation, and also biological biological aging and cognitive impairment in the elderly. Okay, so the ascorbic acid deficiency ultimately shortens lifespan, but could be mitigated by supplementing humans with ascorbates. Vitamin C daily supplements of only ½ gram increase longevity in men by almost 6 years and somewhat lesser improvement in women. Based on the body weight of humans, most mammals synthesize between 10 and 20 grams per day of ascorbic acid, vitamin C from monosaccharides. We cannot do it. Linus Pauling, who won the Nobel Prize in Chemistry in 1954, argued that in contrast to most other mammal species, humans and primates cannot produce vitamin C. Therefore, Linus Pauling advocated megadoses of vitamin C, and he consumed 18 grams daily himself. With lysine, he was taking about 6 grams per day. But again, it is not, so you can take more. Combination of ascorbates with amino acids could be beneficial for anti-aging skin and vascular therapy. Okay, it's again disconfirmed. Vitamin C intake was associated with reduced and dose-dependent risk of all-cause mortality. Cardiovascular disease is phageal cancer, gastric cancer, cervical cancer, and lung cancer with an increment of 100 milligram per day. So if you increase, it is again working as anti-cancer supplement. Beneficial association were also identified for respiratory, neurological, ophthalmological, musculoskeletal, renal, and dental outcomes. A problem with taken ascorbates in megadoses is the following. When taken oral doses above 1-2 gram, absorption in the gut drops significantly, and the unabsorbed ascorbates work as mild laxative. Okay, so, and also if it is absorbed, serum concentration of ascorbates peak in blood quickly, but they are also quickly excreted by kidneys. Half-life of ascorbates in the bloodstream is only 2 hours. So even administration of megadoses of 3 grams every 4 hours cannot rise blood concentration about 220 micromole per liter. So some people are taking up to 100 grams of vitamins ascorbic acid per day in fighting cancer. But again, if you have to do it gradually, otherwise it can be a big problem. So if you jump to megadoses. A 2014 mega-analysis showed a significant positive effect of vitamin C on endothelium function in people where this function was negatively affected by atherosclerosis, diabetes, or heart failure. Endothelium function refers to how well the endothelium, it is a thin layer of cells lining the inside of blood vessels. So it is again very important. This layer is responsible for maintaining healthy blood flow and proper blood pressure. Benefit was found of vitamin C in doses ranging from half gram to 4 grams per day, whereas low doses from 90 milligram to 500 milligram per day were not effective. Again, medical professionals recommend only about up to 70 milligram per day for men. It is absolutely, so you see, it is not beneficial, it is not enough. Also, vitamin C supplementation can have positive effect on epithelium layer in the gut and gut microbiota. Improvements in gut microbiota were associated with intestinal barrier integrity, reduced inflammation, and better digestive health. Okay, you can again go to the publications and read it. It's again my opinion and the opinion of Linus Pauling is very different from what medical professionals recommend. So I rely on science, not on medical services. Most cancers have aerobic fermentation of glucose to lactic acid for energy generation, even in the presence of adequate oxygen, the so-called Warburg effect. Also, most senescent cells heavily rely on aerobic fermentation of glucose for energy production. This again you can read. In the blood, dehydroascorbic acid is formed from the ascorbic radical by oxidation. This dehydroascorbic acid, this oxidized form of ascorbate, is in high concentration, blocks the transport of glucose into cells and suppresses aerobic fermentation in highly metabolically active cells such as cancer cells, virally infected cells, and senescent cells. Once inside of the cells, hyperactive cells, the DHA rapidly reduces back to ascorbic acid, reacting with glutathione and depleting intracellular energy and reducing these antioxidants like glutathione. So then this build-up of causes high level of intracellular oxidative stress, while functionally blocking glucose uptake. So it's again, it is the way how this ascorbic acid works as antioxidant, anti-cancer and anti-senescent, and to control also senescent cells. In conditions of glucose shortage, cancer cells may ignite mitogenesis, production of new mitochondria, and use phosphorylation of lactate and amino acid glutamine. Glutamine, don't mix it with glutamate. Glutamine and glutamate are different. So to produce energy in mitochondria. Antibiotic doxycycline, azithromycin block mitogenesis, A combination of doxycycline with oral intake of ascorbates was proposed in this publication 48. And the triple combination of doxycycline, azithromycin, and vitamin C was investigated in laboratory cell structures to eliminate cancer cells and senescent cells. Yeah, I was doing it myself, but it worked fantastic. But after 2-3 times of taking these combinations, the effect is just removed. Maybe it works so that it works locally in some organs and not in all body. So, but again, I discovered that just taking mega doses of vitamin C, it's enough. So, okay, watch my old video for details. In my personal experiences, as I said, I tried to take this triple combination, and every 2 months such treatment increased endurance, but after 2 or 3 such treatments, the effect reduced and eventually disappeared, so I don't use it now. Melatonin is natural hormone that is produced in the pineal gland in our brain at night, yet 400 times more melatonin is produced in our gut from the amino acid tryptophan. Like DHA, this melatonin is competing with glucose for uptake by cells, so it is blocking the intake of glucose. Melatonin is protecting the tissues from oxidative stress, modulating immune responses, and providing antioxidant and photoprotective effects in the skin and eyes. So you can read publications. Melatonin levels in the blood plasma decline gradually over the lifespan and related to the development of neurodegenerative diseases and cancer. Some naturopaths, such as, okay, you see the long list of people, propose the intake of melatonin in high doses, even up to 2 grams daily, so it's a lot. They propose it as universal anti-aging supplement and alternative cancer treatment. So, okay, you can watch my video 11, so for details. Accumulation of senescent cells results in chronic inflammation of tissues, that is so-called inflammaging. Berberine up to 1.5 grams daily can be used to decrease blood sugar levels, increase weight loss, and improve heart health. Promising results in the eradication of senescent cells were demonstrated in cell cultures with a combination of vitamin C, berberine, and doxycycline. Cysteine is flavonoid found in certain parts that possesses various biological actions, this including antioxidant, anti-inflammatory, anti-cancer properties. Cysteine inhibits gluconeogenesis in the liver from glycogen, and also it inhibits energy production in cancer and senescent cells by blocking aerobic glycolysis in the cells in the cytoplasm. In human oral cancer cells, cysteine induces this apoptosis, death, through the increased production of reactive oxygen species in the hyperactive cells, cancer cells. Official medicine considers megadoses of vitamin C as quackery and fraud, and refers to the risk of calcium oxalate stone formation in the kidneys at excessive intake of ascorbic acid. The officially recommended daily intake of vitamin C for adults over 51 is only 90 milligram per day for men and 75 milligram per day for women. Oxalates, that is oxalic acid and its salts, are compounds found in many plant foods, particularly those considered superfoods like spinach, almonds, and berries. When oxalates enter the cell, they damage the mitochondria in such a way that production of reactive oxygen species increases while the production of energy molecules decreases. It has been shown that consumption of oxalates is associated with oxidative stress, tissue inflammation, accumulation of senescent cells. Okay, this superfood is actually toxic. Okay, this is why I don't take any vegetables, especially green vegetables, or any nuts like almonds. No, not at all. So as discussed in my videos, so you can click and go to the videos, watch videos. The kidney can excrete only 200 milligrams of oxalates daily. Megadoses of vitamins accelerate the removal of oxalates from the tissues. High concentration of the oxalates in the blood during detoxing may lead to kidney stone formation. So therefore, before experimenting with megadoses of vitamin C, calcium oxalate crystals has to be removed from the tissues. Since magnesium oxalate is 100 times more soluble in water than calcium oxalate, 70 milligram versus 0.7 milligram per 100 milliliters of water, and an increase in magnesium content in the diet is necessary for detoxing procedure. It is again very, very important. Magnesium is, people are normally magnesium deficient, so taking cheap source of magnesium, it is the way to go. Taking lemon juice at a rate of about 1 lemon per day and citric acid with drinks also helps to dissolve calcium oxalate crystals in the body tissues and remove oxalates from the body in the urine. Blood flow can be improved by formation of new blood vessels. It is obvious. Impaired angiogenesis is linked to aging and may contribute to age-related diseases. Several amino acids, including glutamine, glutamate, asparagine, serine, and glycine, can serve as metabolic fuel for endothelium cells in the blood vessels to promote angiogenesis. Glutamate is synthesized and stored in muscle tissues where it is the most abundant amino acid, up to 40% by dry weight. Okay, so animal protein may contain as much as 40% of glutamate by weight. You see, it's a lot. The cyclization of glutamate produces proline and amino acid important for synthesis of collagen and connective tissue. Glutamine, it is different, glutamine. Glutamine is essential for vascular expansion, endothelium cell proliferation, and metabolism, particularly by replenishing TCA intermediates and asparagine synthesis. Okay, this is again glutamate and glutamine. What is the difference? Glutamine has additional ammonia group connected to glutamate. Ammonia is highly toxic byproduct of protein metabolism. Because free ammonia easily damages the brain, body cannot let it flow through the bloodstream freely. Glutamine is simply a glutamate molecule that has captured an extra molecule of toxic ammonia in the gut and muscles. So glutamine transports ammonia through the bloodstream to the liver to be converted into urea and be removed by kidneys. Glutamine and glutamine can be used as energy sources, while the formation of alpha-ketoglutarate, which enters the TCA cycle. Okay, this alpha-ketoglutarate was proposed as anti-aging supplement. It is very expensive, but you can take glutamate. Glutamate is even better. So glutamate is used to produce the antioxidant glutathione or to provide substrates for biosynthesis of GABA, proline, and other amino acids. GABA is essential to sleep well. Glutamate was shown to be required for angiogenesis. In mice, topical application of sodium glutamate promotes angiogenesis, growth of new blood vessels, and also improve skin blood circulation and increase growth of hair growth in dose-dependent manner. Okay, I was talking in my videos, but you can read the original presentation. Glutamate added to food in the form of monosodium glutamate is promoting better nutrition in elderly and patients with poor nutrition. Supplementation with glutamate and monosodium glutamate increases gastric juice acidity, supports protein digestion, improves cerebral blood circulation by stimulating nitric oxide production, which plays a crucial role in vasodilation, widening of blood vessels. In piglets, combining lactic acid and glutamine in dietary intake synergistically improves growth, barrier intestinal function, and gut microbiota, while increasing butyric acid production in the colon. But again, for pigs don't consume proteins, they consume mostly. The diet is based on carbohydrates, and for carbohydrates, glutamine works better. Calcium salt of HMB and monosodium glutamate, 10 up to 15 grams, can be taken about 1-2 hours before exercise to reduce muscle damage during exercise, and combination of glutamate with other amino acids may prevent loss sarcopenia, muscle loss, sarcopenia in the elderly. So it's really. The intestinal epithelium layer relies heavily on energy for digestion and absorption processes due to high metabolic activity and rapid turnover of epithelium cells. Glutamate and glutamine are significant fuel sources for these cells, enterocytes and colonocytes in the epithelium layer. During high energy demand, it is very important to consume glutamate. Glutamine is when glutamate reacts with ammonia, it turns to glutamine. Glutamine is a major fuel for epithelium cells, and dietary glutamate is extensively metabolized by intestine. Blood vessels and endothelium cells play a major role in the regulation of metabolic and gas exchanges, blood coagulation, vascular tone, blood flow, and blood vascular permeability. Endothelium cells in blood vessels can utilize glutamine and glutamate as a source of energy, the same like epithelium cells. So it is again very important, and the glutamine has highest concentration in the blood, but it is again better to consume glutamate, or like monosodium glutamate, and then to remove, it works as to remove ammonia, and then in removing the ammonia you will get glutamine, and glutamine can be used as a source of energy. So, but be careful, because glutamine also can be used as source of energy for cancer cells. So don't use glutamine as supplement, only glutamate. In the endothelium layer, glucose, glutamine, and glutamate accounts for 44, 19, and 36 of total production of carbon dioxide. Okay, you see that glutamine, monosodium glutamate. Glutamate is consumed more than glutamine. Glucose, again, glucose also can be consumed. Glucose can be produced by the liver or from food. Also, glutamate is essential for proliferation of the endothelium cells, which is a process of producing new cells, and also for angiogenesis. Again, you see the importance of glutamate. The World Health Organization recommends for adults a daily intake of not more than 5 grams of sodium chloride. It is table salt. It has less than 2 grams of sodium. It is absolutely stupid, in my opinion. However, the sodium intake about 3-6 grams or 7-12 grams of table salt per day was associated with lower risk of death and cardiovascular events. You see, even for normal diet based on carbohydrate, the higher intake of sodium is recommended. Individuals following a ketogenic diet would need even higher intake of sodium. Indeed, when dietary carbohydrates are dramatically reduced, body insulin levels drop, which reduces the kidney tendency to retain sodium in water. Because of accelerated sodium excretion, inadequate intake of sodium can lead to dehydration and symptoms often referred to as keto flu, which may include headaches, fatigue, and dizziness. Watch my old video for details. Again, monosodium glutamate contains 12% of sodium only. Intake of monosodium glutamate in amount 50 grams, it's only 6 grams of sodium. So you see, you can replace of all table salt by monosodium glutamate, and even above this, you can add more monosodium glutamate in small doses per day. As I discussed in my old video, a strict carnivore diet may shorten lifespan because of compromised digestion of red meat in older age and production of toxic ammonia in the colon from undigested protein. While people in Hong Kong consume a lot of red meat, they live the longest on average, probably because of high consumption of monosodium glutamate. In my personal experience, at first I have replaced all table salt with monosodium glutamate. As a second step, I started using monosodium glutamate as a supplement. To my surprise, my appetite considerably reduced, while my endurance and strength actually improved. I started to lose my weight from 74 to 65 kilo, not from muscle, but subcutaneous fat on my legs. I don't have so much fat, but yet on legs I'm losing fat. So the only side effects of the excessive monosodium glutamate consumption is being thirsty after aerobic exercise on hot days, and drinking more water, tea, and hot milk. This is what I do. So actually it is not anyhow dangerous. You just drink more water. It's okay. Gut epithelium cells in the small intestine can directly use lactic acid. So it's another name, lactate, found in yogurt for energy production by mitochondrial respiration. In the large intestine, beneficial gut bacteria consume lactate and convert it into short-chain fatty acids, primary butyrate. Butyrate is a primary fuel source for colonocytes, the cells that line your colon, and providing up to 70% of their energy needs. In the muscles, lactate is primarily produced in anaerobic glycolysis during intense exercise or in hypoxic conditions. This lactate can be used as substrate to fuel mitochondrial respiration elsewhere in the body. For example, lactate in circulation is used as an important substrate for energy production by cardiac fuels and also cardiac cells and in lungs also, because they have high concentration of the oxygen. So the lactate can be consumed in such conditions. Lactate in blood circulation promote angiogenesis and muscle regeneration. It stimulates endothelium cells to form new blood vessels, and it is key driver for vascularization or in both healthy physiological states like wound healing and pathological conditions like cancer. So again, for cancer, it also like I have to be careful that cancer cells produce a lot of lactate, and lactate promotes angiogenesis, growth of new blood vessels. So the supplementation of lactate or production of lactate in anaerobic conditions during intense exercise promotes angiogenesis in the brain and may play a cardioprotective role via promotion of angiogenesis. Under ischemic or hypoxic conditions, a considerable increased lactate production results in vasodilation with a marked reduction in vascular resistance. However, chronically high blood lactate concentrations contribute to the development of hypertension and correlate with higher mortality rate in patients with heart failure. Okay, so again, you have to be, exercises are important to get not chronic, but that's chronic lactate production. But okay. Levels of elastin and hyaluronic acid gradually decrease in aging. Elastin is made by linking together many small soluble precursor tropoelastin protein molecules. The structure of tropoelastin characterized by presence of large amounts of 4 amino acids: glycine, alanine, valine, and proline. Elastic fibers are formed via elastogenesis only during childhood, while tropoelastin is produced by fibroblasts in organs and by vascular smooth cells in arteries even in older age. But somehow it is elastogenesis is a complex process. This involves cross-linking of tropoelastin monomers and microfibril proteins by lysine reduces to produce elastic fibers. Again, copper and zinc are critical for function of this elastin cross-linking enzyme, lysine oxidase, and vitamin C required and used up in making elastin and collagen. But again, this process is so complicated. It is not easy to understand why we are losing this ability to produce elastin fibers. So combining ascorbic acid and ascorbates with amino acids can increase collagen and elastin synthesis in the extracellular matrix. A study published in 2013 showed that vitamin C dramatically increases elastin synthesis in 3D T-cell constructs in laboratory, but it is 3D. not two-dimensional, but three-dimensional constructs. It is like cross-linked gelatin matrix. The use of ascorbic acid or ascorbates for promoting elastin synthesis in order to enhance elasticity of extracellular matrix in skin was disclosed in this publication. So, sodium ascorbate have been proven to penetrate cells and stimulate fibroblasts to produce new elastic fibers, aiding to remodeling of stretch marks and scars. Glycine self-supply can be a limiting factor for collagen elastin production in human fibroblasts, so combination of glycine with ascorbates could be effective for anti-aging skin and vascular therapy. But again, this area is not very clear, so not many confirmation, but mind that combination of glycine with vitamins, vitamin C can help. Vitamin C deficiency accelerates aging or extracellular matrix, sorry about this mistake, aging and degradation of extracellular matrix. So combination of lysine and vitamin C synergistically supports collagen synthesis, improves immune function, and helps to reduce viral infection. Vitamin C enables enzymes to convert lysine into hydroxylysine, allowing collagen strands to properly form the stable triple helix structure required for strong connective tissues, skin and blood vessels. In my personal experience, I take mega doses of ascorbic acid. This is up to 10 grams with lysine to purge the colon in the morning. So I take about in the morning at 6 o'clock. And about 9 o'clock, I take orally about 20 grams of ascorbic acid with lysine, monosodium glutamate, and dry powder of the mushrooms. It is interesting that these larger doses of ascorbic acid result in a less laxative effect. I may attribute it to beta-glucans in mushrooms that work to slow down diffusion of ascorbic acid from the gut to the bloodstream, maybe, as I discussed in my video. Potassium channel openers such as minoxidil, deoxidine, and pinacidil relax vascular smooth muscles, reducing arterial pressure. They may induce elastin production, improve arterial structure and function, and increase organ perfusion. So you can read publications. Minoxidil enhances elastin synthesis in cultured vascular smooth muscle cells and skin fibroblasts. The formation of newly synthesized elastin fibers was demonstrated in the aorta of aged mice, as well as in rats, so with minoxidil. So another potassium channel open nicorandil relaxes vascular muscle cells, and this acts as a nitric oxide donor for dilation, for blood vessel dilation, and stimulates elastin production similar to minoxidil. Angiotensin receptor blocker losartan has several advantages for the cardiovascular system. It reduces arterial stiffness and limits vascular remodeling, fibrosis, and hypertrophy. Okay, hyperpressure, hypertrophy. Okay, it also improves arterial compliance and elasticity, which reduces the systolic blood pressure and pulse pressure. It has anti-inflammatory and neuroprotective effects that improve vascular health. It protects the kidney by reducing intraglomerular pressure, especially in patients with diabetes and chronic kidney disease. The drug spironolactone, which is a diuretic used to treat high blood pressure, has anti-inflammatory properties. In treatment of lysine-deficient mice with combination of losartan and this spironolactone decreases collagen content in aorta, and this spironolactone feminized insect make it uncommon for men to use, and subtherapeutic doses of doxycycline on 20 milligram daily and with this spironolactone daily inhibit aortic elastin production. So it is again probably very good combination, but not for men. Diuretic hydrochlorothiazide, THTH, can be used instead of spironolactone. Okay, this HECTZ reduces pulse pressure more significantly than the diastolic blood pressure. Diastolic blood pressure is dropping in age, but again, pulse pressure, it is difference between systolic and diastolic blood pressure. It is decreases vascular tone by reducing sodium content in vascular smooth cells, and protects target organs such as brain and kidneys by reducing hypertension-induced damage. A long-term, over 1 year of use of this hydrochlorothiazide improves arterial elasticity and endothelium function. So trials show the significant reduction of pulse pressure. It is 8.6 millimeters of mercury compared to other antihypertensives like atenolone and etc. Okay, you see them. In the duration of treatment of only 4 weeks with doses 25 milligrams once a day, this spironolactone is more effective, slightly superior for hydrochlorothiazide, but for control of systolic blood pressure and arterial stiffness, but it is this HSTZ has fewer side effects and making it suitable for men. Okay, so in combination of these two drugs provides a complementary mechanism of action with synergistic effect. So this HCTZ reduces systolic blood pressure by reducing blood volume, while losartan enhances arterial compliance through vasodilation and reduce arterial stiffness. Sorry. This noise. Okay, losartan counteracts with potassium depleting effects of this HCTZ and improves renal protection in patients with comorbidities by minimizing electrolyte imbalances. Together, they address systolic hypertension more effectively than either drug alone. By targeting arterial stiffness, this therapy helps mitigate cardiovascular risk, enhances quality of life, reduces drug costs, and supports long-term vascular health. Observation trials will demonstrate a significant reduction in systolic blood pressure and pulse pressure using a single tablet combination of losartan 50 milligram and this HCTZ 12.5 milligram with better responses in the higher in patients with higher baseline blood pressure. Okay, so again, it is, you see, it is possible to try to use some non-expensive medications to promote production of elastin. There are several herbs that can be studied, that have been studied for their potential to reduce blood pressure, and they can be used as adjunctive therapy in the treatment of hypertension, including this list of herbs. The use of garlic and aged black garlic for treating arterial hypertension was widely recognized. As I discussed in my video, it has been shown that dill seal extract boosts production of tropoelastin, improves elastin protein expression and maturation in 3D skin models, boosts elastin protein production in vascular smooth muscle cells, improves skin elasticity and prevents the degradation of collagen, so it's not expensive. Hyaluronic acid is a glucosaminoglycan. You can go understand it and also pronounce it. It's not very well. And a component of the extracellular matrix with particular high concentration in the skin, while low molecular mass hyaluronic acid is associated with inflammation, tissue injury, and cancer metastasis. High molecular weight hyaluronic acid plays a crucial role in skin hydration, plumpness, and elasticity. It attracts and binds more water molecules, keeping the skin hydrated and supple. Studies suggest that as we age, the body production of this high molecular weight hyaluronic acid declines. It contributes to the visible signs of aging in the skin, such as wrinkles, dryness, and loss of elasticity. The exact reasons for the decrease in this production of high molecular weight hyaluronic acid is not fully understood, but oxidative stress and accumulation of senescent cells can be responsible for degradation of this high molecular weight hyaluronic acid and reduction in its production. Okay, again, not much science on it, but it's probably. So naked rats, they can live up to 40 years compared with only 3 years of mice. Maximum longevity without getting age-related diseases such as arthritis and cardiovascular and neurodegenerative disorders. It appears this anti-inflammatory function of high molecular weight hyaluronic acid may confer anti-aging effects. Fibroblasts of the naked rats secrete much more this hyaluronic acid than those of humans or mice. Improved intestinal barrier and elevated production of mucin in both the small intestine and colon were related to increased production of high molecular weight hyaluronic acid in mice. So, reduced thickness of the mucous layer is considered the cause of the leaky gut syndrome. The healthy gut barrier inhibits the shift of the gut microbiome towards the production of toxins and pro-inflammatory substances, slowing down the onset of inflammation and cancer development. Okay, you can go to watch my videos. Skin hyaluronic acid produced by enzymatic proteins called hyaluron synthases in two types of cells, fibroblasts and keratinocytes. The mechanism of this high molecular weight hyaluronic acid degradation in skin enzymatic breakdown via hyaluronidase, so enzyme, and oxidative damage also from reactive oxygen species. It is also this high molecular weight hyaluronic acid, the main component in synovial fluid in your nervous and brain. The function of high molecular weight hyaluronic acid in the joints include lubrication, the increase of reactive oxygen species during the inflammatory process. So inflammation leads to losses in the thickness and reduced viscosity of this lubricating layer, leading to disorders such as osteoarthritis and rheumatoid arthritis. Okay, humans can increase production of high molecular weight hyaluronic acid through dietary support by intake of magnesium, vitamin C, amino acids, glycine, lysine, valine, glutamate, and lysine. Regular physical activity such as long and intense aerobic training can effectively improve the aerobic capacity of the body, the energy producing and respiratory capacity of cells, and pulmonary function, and stimulate angiogenesis. Aerobic exercise such as road cycling, rowing, cross-country skiing, swimming, free diving without scuba gears, and long-distance running improves the strength and endurance of the diaphragm and intercostal muscles, which promote better airflow and high aerobic capacity. Physical activity also exerts beneficial effects in pathological conditions such as obesity, cancer, rheumatoid arthritis, type 2 diabetes, and cardiovascular diseases. Regular exercise prevents lung mitochondrial function and preserves lung mitochondrial function and mitigates systemic age-related inflammation, oxidative stress, respiratory decline, and development of pulmonary fibrosis in the lung. Overall, physical activity is associated with better quality of life and health outcomes in elders. Okay, pardon. Okay, then swimming is more healthy than cycling and running. Competitive swimmers generally boast a higher maximum vital lung capacity, forced respiratory volume in 1 second, and increased number of pulmonary alveoli, so blood vessels in the lungs. Involuntary ventilation, the maximum amount of air that can be inhaled and exhaled within 1 minute, more than the other athletes. Immersion in water adds hydrostatic pressure against the chest wall, requiring swimmers to develop stronger inspiratory muscles and just to inhale. Also, swimmers are forced into specific timed breathing and frequent hypoxic states of low oxygen in blood. This training adaptation naturally promotes increased lung expansion, alveolar development, and pulmonary function. If regular swimming is problematic for the elderly, the regular exercises with indoor rower machine have potential to improve in pulmonary function, blood circulation, and muscle rehabilitation. Okay, as I said, I started this project on health improvement and radical life expansion in the year 2018 after I failed to commercialize my inventions in rotomolding of polyethylene powder and advanced engine oils. So I had a hope that I will develop this new technology and I will get some paid for my inventions, but despite the success in technical results to double the mechanical strength of the rotomolded articles, and industrial companies in Thailand and Poland were interested only in free transfer of my findings, so it is why should do it. I invested so much my money and time in it, and I got nothing. A similar situation was the engine oils, which reduced wear 20-50 times and fuel consumption 10-15%. You could watch my old videos on it. It worked fantastic. At first, after large companies producing engine oils didn't show any interest in producing such engine oils, I was producing and selling oil locally, but large shops demanded certification of the oil, engine oil, and also license to produce it, and which is very costly in Thailand. And again, in Thailand you cannot keep business on it. So I failed. So I decided that I cannot do such business. So I stopped this business. Already in the year 2018, I proposed the use of remedy to fight hypertension and atherosclerosis. So you can watch my video for details. A few volunteers and I myself tested the remedy with excellent results. So I have invested considerable amount of money to build a large house to produce the remedy, and in amounts of at least 25-30 kilos a month. And the price of the remedy is about $1 American dollar per gram. So it is actually it's a lot. 25-30 kilos a month. It is good money for the start. So I was planning to continue research to develop a remedy to improve elasticity of extracellular matrix. Unfortunately, because of the troubles in my private life, and again, Thailand is very special in this, so making business in Thailand for foreigner, it is almost very, very, very risky. So, and then starting of year 2019, I have was the house, laboratory, workshop in the investment in small businesses in Thailand. So but I can say that it is not a problem, because I continue working on improving the health of the elderly people, extending longevity of humans up to 1,000 years. My YouTube channel has 435 videos for now. So, but my primary goal is my own life extension. I believe that now I am in the next stage of the project when I should demonstrate the validity of my findings on myself. I'm 69 years old, and my friends tell me that people may believe me when I am physically fit and healthy at the age of 75. So I will continue reporting the state of my health and new findings, but not as often as before. So checking my old presentation, I may claim that from the very beginning I was right in my vision of the aging mechanism and possibilities to radically extend longevity. I slightly changed my opinion to consume up to 100 grams of cassava starch as a source of resistant starch, in part because the cassava starch can be digested in small intestine and converted to glucose. Then excess of glucose intake was led to increased subcutaneous fat on my legs. So Okay, then when I changed from starch to mushroom powder and lactate, I started the use of monosodium glutamate as supplement. I started to lose weight from 74 to 65 kilos with my height of 172 centimeters. Also try to increase the intake of ascorbic acid from about 20 gram daily to 30 gram and maybe more in the morning. So it's I just try. The side effects of those two doesn't bother me because I work at home with a computer and internet, so it's not a problem. I just clean my gut, intestinal gut from before exercises. If anybody wants to try to follow in me in it, mind the side effects and long adaptation time to increase the intake of ascorbic acid gradually. Okay, don't jump to large doses. First, you take care about the oxalates. I follow my longevity diet, which is different from strict carnivore diet and includes dairy products, especially yogurt, organ meat cooked according to sauce with the technology, and a lot of amino acids. Okay, you can watch my recent videos for details. I surprisingly discovered that the replacement of table salt with monosodium glutamate and the use of HMB before exercises and monosodium glutamate also combination as supplements help me to improve endurance and aerobic exercise. Also consume considerable amount of whey protein and amino acids such as glycine, lysine, valine, CO9, and taurine as supplements. In the past, I was getting melatonin and quercetin from reliable suppliers at AliExpress, but somehow they discontinued selling these products and I ran out of them. Other suppliers sell fake substances and they have different appearances, melting temperatures, solubilities in water, alcohol, so I don't use them. What they sell, I have no idea. And a large part of my project is detoxing our bodies from oxalates, waste products of the metabolism and toxins. Okay, also you can watch my videos on detoxing. It is different little, but it can work also. Activated macrophages and lymphocytes consume damaged and dysfunctional cells and release ammonia in the process, so they can promote tissue repair through the clearance of dead cells, induction of angiogenesis, and regulation of matrix, extracellular matrix remodeling. In particular, macrophages contribute to the skeletal muscle regeneration and growth. The supply of glutamate is essential for mopping up produced ammonia to maintain cellular homeostasis and prevent tissue toxicity. For protein-rich diet, supplementation of glutamate helps the digestion of proteins in stomach, improves gastric motility and integrity of the intestinal barrier, and reduce inflammation. So it's again, it is just about supplementation with monosodium glutamate. In contrast to glutamate, supplementation of the glutamine results in the production of ammonia in the gut, okay, reduced acidity, and thereby enhances the digestion of complex carbohydrates from the whole grains, fruits, vegetables, and legumes for the diet, which is widely recommended by medical professionals. But it is different from my longevity diet, and therefore supplementation with glutamine in doses ranging from 15 to 30 grams daily is recommended by medical professionals. But as a professional scientist, I follow nature, and the intensive use of amino acids in my longevity diet is an attempt to mimic the diet of insect-eating microbes and some of ant queens that rely on consumption of hemolymph and fat as a source of amino acids and energy. You can watch my old video. And prices, again, it is very affordable. So you can see these prices, what I pay for food. Duck eggs, monosodium glutamate is dirty cheap. Beef liver, minced pork, so and amino acids, and I consume a lot of whole milk powder and butter and whey protein concentrate and whey protein. So whey protein and whey powder. Okay, this for supplements, again, I use some supplements. Again, it is quite affordable. Even it is more expensive than starch, the mushrooms powder, more expensive, but it is yet not much money. So I can afford it. But again, if you cannot afford it, then consume the cassava starch. So, okay, pardon. Prices for medications also very affordable. You don't need much, like Vasartan at 100 gram, 360 gram, but you consume 25 milligram per day. It is, again, it is 100 gram, it is almost for 200 days. So, and this, again, it's very, not, it's quite cheap. Roxythromycin, it is, can be used to skin. Azithromycin and doxycycline I don't consume, but doxycycline in small amounts, like 20 milligram, can be used. Okay, so you can go to the source information. You see it's a long list of publications and some patents also. So it is, again, I rely on science. Thank you for watching my video. This I share my personal opinion on rejuvenation, radical lifespan extension. It is different, very different from medical professionals and very different from other people who are active in this area. I don't rely on their opinion. I follow nature and I follow science. Okay. So, okay, my opinion may not agree with the official recommendation, mostly not. So make your own research and don't rely on me. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please, if you want to support, press the like and bell button, subscribe to my channel, share this video with your friends and family. It is now, again, I'm almost completed the literature research, and with some ideas, I need time to prove that my ideas are right. So then, have a wonderful day. If you want to follow me, I will think about making some website, probably, or some services to contact more people. Okay, take care. Have a wonderful day. Ciao.